Hey, good morning, good morning. Look, you like my dance moves? I'm not a dancer. I'm not a dancer.
Weren't as good as mine.
No, this is true.
Good morning, everybody,
Good
and
morning.
welcome to Alan and Michelle Show.
I like it. Welcome to the Alan and Michelle Show on this rainy Wednesday morning. Oh my gosh. Wow, it is already March 11th. How are you this morning?
Wide awake, ready to go.
Well, that is a lie, but the donuts and the coffee are going to help. So
I have finally come down from my caffeine attack a few weeks ago.
Yes. Thank you, Bobby and Candace.
So I'm gonna need to rev up.
You know, today might be the day for you to have the what was it? What was it called?
1885.
The 1885.
It is dreary.
It is dreary out there. It is dreary, but that's okay. We listed 2 houses this week, and I just want to give a shout out to Cruz at Studio USA. He managed to weave in some incredible photography in between the rainstorms. Like my pictures look great. I don't know when he took them, but they look fantastic.
Good.
So
I mean, and
shout
the
out Cruz.
House went. It's going to go under contract in 3-4 days.
One of the houses is already going under contract. Good job, babe. Good job on that one.
No, well, you helped a lot too.
A little bit. Teamwork, dreamwork, and really more to that is great photography, but knowing your market and knowing how to list the home and pricing it properly. And I think that was key because we actually, on the first home, the second one won't go on the market until later today, but we were in multiple offers on that house because we listed it properly, and that makes all the difference. So as an agent, truly being able to educate your sellers on what pricing looks like and standing firm in that and having a real plan, I think is huge as we go into the spring market. So there you go.
Get creative.
I see a smirk.
Get creative with your descriptions, because I'm pretty sure my description sold it.
You did have a pretty fantastic description.
I like to get a little creative and a little narrative style. Yeah.
Okay, so tell your description. What format? Obviously you used an AI product.
Why do you gotta obviously?
Obviously, but then you tweaked it in your own words. But what AI did you use? Who's your favorite?
GPT.
Okay,
is my favorite.
You're using chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean I'm still using chat? Is that like Facebook? Is it the old people AI?
There's so many different ones out there now, and I'm not talking about. I'm not getting into politics.
I have built so much within the Chat GPT. Anyway, so
still using that. Okay.
Took the stats of the home, plugged those in, but I didn't mention anything about bedrooms, bathrooms, nothing like that. It was more about what you could do with the home. It was more of a narrative of the space is made for entertaining.
You told the story.
Told the story of the home, of what it could potentially be. And guess what? The people buying it love to entertain.
I love that. So you hit on, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. So really what you hit on is the button of lifestyle.
Home on a good little spot of land. It's got a pool, deck, all of the thing, big backyard, house with 2 levels, like so many living good price point.
But I think we're seeing,
all of it worked together.
So as we move into the spring market, the nice thing is that we are starting to see a little bit of, we're seeing more activity. We're seeing a more traditional spring market than what we've had in the last couple years because of interest rates and things like that. So what we're seeing, I think, is a little bit of a buyer acceptance. This is where the rates are, but also people are moving because of their lifestyle, meaning they're either upsizing, downsizing.
I'm going to move more into the city or out of the city, but that's been kind of typical, I think.
But I think it's really more of a purposeful move. We're seeing moves with intention versus it was moving just for fun, I guess, is kind of what we were seeing back in 21.
I think it was more of I can get a good loan, good price, and I will buy whatever within the school district I want.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
And then now 6 years later, you really want to sell that house.
Well, and now we're just seeing people move with more intention. So I think that lifestyle, that niche. And so that's where it's important for you as an agent to really determine, and I can't emphasize this enough, to really determine who your niche is or niche, however you prefer to say it, and cast your net accordingly. And if you don't know what that looks like, some coaching may be helpful for you in that area.
This is for you realtors out there.
Yes.
Sorry, I just needed to yell that.
Yeah, that are just throwing themselves everywhere. It's time for you to really dig into your sphere and see what that looks like, instead of trying to look for Zillow leads and different things like that may not match who you are.
Yeah, like we talked about this morning, a little conversation before. Your
I
business
love that.
is
Share
not
that again.
out there.
Yeah.
It's not it's not there. It's the relationships that you have. It's already there. It's just a matter of drilling down and actually
100%.
writing down some names. And I want to encourage you, just like I encouraged my team this morning, who's the one person that you need to reach out today and just ask them how they're doing. Now, that may transition into a real estate conversation. It may not, but it's genuine and it shows up as,
I like that.
as loving and caring and empathetic. So, which you are.
And when you, something that was, and I'm actually going to do a whole talk on this, but something but not today.
Fancy.
Yeah. But something that Jay Shetty talked about at Family Reunion is that when you're showing gratitude and when you're sharing love to others and when you're, doing all of those things, you kind of can't have a bad day. The dopamine and all of that occurs psychologically in your brain.
I think I could figure out how to have a bad day. But it's just a gift.
Congratulations on your win there.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us.
Listen, complaining is a contact sport.
Okay. But.
Too much?
Too much.
I'll
too
stop
much.
talking.
Yeah. For the rest of us.
Wait. Why am I still talking?
Oh my goodness. You're a gem today. But for the rest of us, having that positivity and sharing that with others ensures that we're going to have our best day. And I love that. So I like that idea of reaching out to the one. Oh my gosh.
So step out of your comfort zone will kill you.
Or your wife. If could go either way today.
If I keep saying weird sound bites.
Yeah, seriously, you're on a roll. You even had donuts. You had donuts and coffee.
It's starting to kick in. That's why.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Sugar, donuts, and coffee.
Oh, he needed it.
It's
He
my
needed
favorite.
it. Oh, so, okay. So this month is Women's Month. It's National Women's Month.
Who got to say this?
I
Who
know,
made
right?
up this? What kind of...
Where are you going? Where are you going?
I don't know. I was trying to be insulting, but
That's probably not a good idea.
Is it International Women's Month or is it
No,
just
it's-
Women's Celebration Month?
It's Women's History Month. Yes. And we're excited about that. So what I wanted to talk about today is really the difference between men and women and how we approach work, and so not like so much a feminist perspective, but how we do things a little bit differently. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was women tend to build relationship ecosystems versus men who are more about just building the ladder.
Explain that.
Men are more like I don't want to say it in an ugly way, but I really don't know of another way to say
we're
it.
Dumb.
No. Men, and I think men are okay with it. Men use work as you're climbing the ladder, and it's okay. Like I'm using this person for this purpose, and then I go on to the next thing. I'm using this purpose.
We could say it's biology.
Yeah, and I don't like, but as a woman who I'm more interested in building networks and relationships and collaboration, to say it like that feels negative. So I guess the question is, what's your take on that? Do you agree with that? Does it seem negative?
Yeah, I think it is negative.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I think the world is shifting.
Right? Here's what I still see. I still see professional females still struggling with male clients and them not respecting them as professionals, and that bothers me. So I think that there's more men that are more sensitive to that type of behavior.
Yeah.
And how they speak and talk to women, especially professionals.
Oh, I would agree with that.
But
I already see that in the office place.
Yeah. But approaching work, I think I'm good at nurturing relationships.
Yeah.
It's not just, but some are surfacey.
Yeah.
which is fine. You know, we're in
And
business.
I think that's really the question, like from looking at relationship networks versus ladders is kind of is do
the
you
ecosystem.
yeah. I guess so for men, I think it's more appropriate, it's more accepted, it's more okay to not be as relational, to use things to climb the ladder, so to speak. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean that
Do you see
sounds
men
right.
as being more accepting of that, I guess? With men. Like,
Well, you're just not going to get a lot of dudes that are going to meet for
Cuddle.
brunch. And
maybe not for brunch,
and
but
then
I
wear
do
fuzzy
see,
socks and watch romantic movies.
well, that's true. That's true. But I am seeing a lot more community type events for men. Like I'm seeing a lot more Bible studies. I'm seeing a lot more breakfasts. I'm seeing a lot more. So I kind of think that that's shifting.
I think that there's a group of men, young men, even up to, well, yeah, I mean, for me, young men, what is that, up into the 30s? But that are struggling to find a place, a purpose, and to know their voice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's something that I'm passionate about. I think that if
Well,
we
that's where
can
you're-
speak intelligently to who we are and what we want to do and what we are doing, I think that's a problem with maturity and capacity and knowledge.
Yeah. Women over prepare and men over pitch.
Why am I still talking?
Why am I talking? Yes. No, I agree.
Man, just if you start talking in circles, it means you didn't prepare your talk.
But no, I agree with that. I think so the statistic is saying that research shows that women wait until they feel 100% ready, whereas men will jump in at 60%.
So done is better than not
So men,
done?
maybe you should prepare a little more, and women, maybe you should like tone it down a little bit.
Maybe we should meet somewhere in the middle.
80%. I think 80%. In fact, I've heard Craig Rochelle say that in regard to perfectionism and handing off tasks, he makes the comment that if someone can do a task 80% of the way that you do it, more than likely, it is just fine.
Just fine.
Yes, not everything has to be absolutely
Do
perfect.
you remember when you were micromanaged at one point in
my
your
gosh.
life? Well, maybe look at how you are approaching your
But-
assistants, your team, those kinds of things.
But going back to women versus
spouse.
men, we as women can probably tone it down a little bit, whereas men
Not
can
saying
maybe.
anything.
Whereas men can maybe prepare a little bit more, especially when they're meeting together. Like it's a meeting that's going to have a group of people. What are your thoughts on that? You didn't prepare.
Listen, that sounds like a bear trap that's just set up that I'm not going to step in.
Okay, well, number 3.
Tone it down, women. Is that what you want me to say?
Okay, maybe you shouldn't say that.
Huh.
But
Dudes, quit being dumb.
no, I think it's more about
I'm just kidding. I love y'all.
I think it's more about being taking so much time to over prepare that we don't do the thing. And I think that's where women, like we even talked about this yesterday in our family reunion ahas,
I see. Okay, that definitely trips a lot of our, yes.
especially our female team members.
Yes.
We take so much time to get ready and we don't just, do the damn thing. So to
Yes,
speak.
I see. So
that's
over
the
preparing,
point.
and then for us, we can prepare just enough.
Yeah.
And we're a little bit more comfortable with
And I think that's a
winging
positive.
it, which I'm
Yeah.
not like. If we're
No.
knowledgeable, we're not winging it, but
No, I don't think this is not a like y'all are better, y'all are worse.
no,
I
no,
actually
no.
think
but that trips you up too if you're not prepared.
Yes, it does. But I do think this is a positive on the male side, is especially when it comes to video and things like that, is you are more willing to just jump in and get the thing done. And when I think about that, just thinking about social media and several people I follow, there are several men that I follow that do real estate news, and they just do these quick little clips, and they're not super polished, and they have hundreds of thousands of followers, versus we as women.
Done is better than perfect. Is that?
Yes. Whereas we as women overthink it, overcomplicate it, and then
we
we
talked
don't.
about that yesterday
Yeah,
in our
and that's what I'm
market center.
saying. So I
good.
commend the male perspective on that, because you just jump in and you do it and you get the results. We as women can take a lesson from that playbook. The hair does not have to be perfect. The script does not have to be perfect.
The beard. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Oh, but the beard's perfect, Santa. It's perfect. I love it.
Hey.
People do. It is funny at the mall when kids look at you like you're Santa Claus.
I do get some looks.
Especially
like
during
even,
the holidays.
Like
it's kind of funny.
even like the airport when you're going through all the little maze, if there's a little kid and you kind of see them like as you're going through, and they'll kind of look at me again.
It's really funny.
Kind of looking up and like,
Especially during the holidays, like when Santa's
just kind of
top
working
of
it
mind.
out. You can see them working it out in their little heads of like, I don't know.
I love it.
But I
think
like
it's funny.
to think that he is. It's cute.
It is cute.
I love it.
It is cute. Okay, point number 3 when we're talking
We
about...
still have points?
We have points.
How long is this show?
It's only 30 minutes. Don't worry. You're good.
Oh.
You're going to make it. You're going to make it.
Just hold on.
Have some coffee. Have some coffee. You got a Dr. Pepper over there. I guess you could add it to
Quit
it.
telling my secrets.
Oh, okay. Then a bag of donuts. Like a life support or something. You cannot eat a donut on the air.
Live on the air.
What are you doing?
Point 3. Keep on with your points.
Help. Oh
What did
my
you just-
word. I don't even know what to do anymore. Okay. Well, clearly this applies. Men, women are very risk aware. We are aware of consequences. We are aware of what might happen versus men who are risk averse and don't think about the consequences of their actions.
Oh, is this live? I'm kidding.
Oh my word. Oh my word. That just happened. I am so sorry. I'm just sorry. I don't even know what to do anymore.
I love donut. Get on with your points.
So
Copy.
risk aware versus risk averse. And I do think, as you have just
aware.
so clearly demonstrated, women can take so long, I feel like, to worry about, and it goes back to getting ready to get ready, that we can often miss the opportunity. And so that's something where I think we can be a little different and maybe improve on our just jumping into things. And then clearly men are risk averse. What's your thought on that?
Listen, there's a reason. There got to be a reason why when we're teenagers, we're riding a skateboard down the biggest hill we can find towards a curb. You know, we've hit our heads a few times.
More than a few.
But we get stuff done.
We do get stuff done. You do get stuff done.
You get stuff done.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I hate, or I don't hate, but there is a biological piece to it.
Sure.
But it's just unique to everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like they're
That's
working,
true.
their sense of urgency,
Yeah.
their work ethic,
Yeah.
their balance of life and work, their capacity to grow.
Yeah.
All of that factors in. And I think that,
I agree.
across
That's
the
a
board,
good
like
point.
you just, there are
Versus whether you're male or female. Agreed.
I'll
yes.
over prepare and
Yeah.
under deliver.
Well,
You
I
know?
don't know about under deliver, but I think it
I was
also.
trying to be humble, but you're right. I'm great.
You are great. You are great. Oh my gosh. So it's Women's Month. It's exciting to think about the women in history who have kind of paved the way for us, made it so that we can, be here, be on a show. It was the 1970s before women could actually get a mortgage, which I think is crazy, and get a credit card.
Wait, y'all can get a mortgage?
We can get a mortgage. Y'all can.
Who changed that rule?
Yes.
Oh.
So, and
1970?
it was in the 70s. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
When
And
did women get the vote?
that was a long time before that, I think.
30s?
I don't have that pulled up. I'm not great with history. But what I do know is Women's Council of Realtors was created in the early 1900s because women were not allowed to be in the National Association of Realtors, and they wanted to have a voice. So that is why Women's Council of Realtors was established. And I think that's pretty cool.
You just happen to be the presidente.
I am the president of Women's
El
Council of Realtors,
Presidente.
Dallas. So yeah, I think that's cool that's how Women's Council of Realtors was developed and has evolved over time.
Real estate in the early 1900s was like you pointed at something and said, I want buy, and you would just buy it.
I don't think it was quite like that, but
It's like
definitely
the Wild West.
But real estate from a business perspective, has certainly evolved tremendously over time. Wow.
In good ways.
In good ways. And we're in an markets are cyclical, and we're in a market now that is
a big word.
It is a big word. But it is interesting. The market that we're in now, I think, and we talked about this yesterday, the market we're in now and getting through 2026, this is what will build careers. Because if you have stayed focused and continued to build your business in 24, 25, and 26, this is where you will start to see the fruits of those efforts really, I believe, in 2027, which is where coaching can be a huge benefit. So if you don't have a coach, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. But having systems and processes in place so that you're moving your business forward every day, especially as we go into the spring season, is essential. So I want to kind of end the show today talking about
Donuts.
No, not donuts. The latest industry news between Compass and Rocket and Redfin.
Have fun with that.
What do we think about all of that?
I think that it's just I can't think about it because then I'll get worried about competition, and I don't need to do that.
Well, I don't think we have to worry about competition. We always have to. You can't worry about competition.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you've got to do what you're going to do. But I think it's interesting.
You can only control what you can control.
100%, and that is a good point. But I do think it's interesting what Compass is trying to do and how they've connected with Redfin and all those. And it's interesting that from a legal standpoint, the Department of Justice has not gotten involved, at least not so far as I know.
I'm talking about their private listings.
Their private listings and what they're doing now with Redfin and Rocket Mortgage. I think that's just an interesting concept. And I wonder, does anyone feel like that's what's best for the seller and for the buyer community?
I think that this kind of thing has been happening. I just think it's now on a larger scale.
Yeah.
It's just now like off-market listings. That's been a thing for a long time, but that's not even really a listing. It's just what it sounds like.
I just feel like optionality is what's best for the consumer.
100%.
And seller and buyer choice is what's best for the consumer.
There's some very big concerns about this and affordability and that kind of like.
And I just don't know how this type of listing process is really going to be best for the seller. I think what's best for the seller is when it's made available to the public. And I mean, take for example, the house that we're about to have under contract. It was in multiple offers, and that is what drove up the price for the seller. And that's huge. That's huge.
You're not going to get that when it's sitting in a certain real estate company's brand, their MLS system or where they hub their off market. Correct. Now, do I think that sellers deserve optionality because there may be reasons why they want to do that? 100%. And that again is where that optionality is important, and we offer those things to the seller. But I just kind of feel like, I don't know, what some of these other brands are trying to do is more about protecting their interests and protecting their bottom line more than it's about serving the purpose of the seller buyer community as a whole. Well, the article I read from Netris about this was that it'd be a 30-day, it's called a coming soon is what they're calling it, which we have access to do in the MLS, which shows up on Zillow and those types of things. It feeds to that. Sure. But it's basically 30 days they can have it on that. Okay. Then it gets listed. Okay. Is I think what but do they report those numbers to the government? And so we have a good, clear understanding of what's happening in the real estate market. I don't know. I know it's a weird question, but I don't know about the government piece. I'm not sure what that. You know what I'm saying? With like people know the housing market, what buys and stuff. So maybe because it goes through a title company, they'll have. I don't know. That's yes. So yeah, that's it's all interesting to see how that shakes up and how it gets resolved. There's just a lot going on within that concept of MLS and Netris. Of course, that's our local MLS. Let's talk about what we can do.
What we can do is reach out to our clients and serve them to the best of our ability and build those relationships so that we don't have to worry about those things. And that's what's key is digging into what you have.
Built to win.
Built to win. Built to win.
That's right.
I love it. Hey, that's what we have for you guys today. Enjoy this rainy Wednesday. Alan's going to enjoy his donuts. And we will see you next time on the Alan and Michelle Show.
What's up, y'all? We'll see you later. Have fun. Oh!